Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Weekend Wind Down with Nancy. I'm Nancy Ganzikoff, for business coach to creative entrepreneurs. I'm loving my Fridays, as I always say. It's my favorite time of the week to do my weekend wind down. Today, I am drinking, and I actually labeled it this time. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Danielle. I labeled it in my description this time, which I want to start doing if the vineyard that I'm drinking has a site. Hi, Nelia. So this is Rhyme and Meter Chardonnay by Roanoke Vineyard. It's delicious. Hi, Mary Beth. Hi, Mary Ellen. So I'm excited today because I want to do some sharing because my VA won't be on the broadcast today. My son, Caden, is buried in work, which I'm so happy for him. Not just my work, but other clients as well. So he can. Hi, Darlene. So I'm going to do my own sharing. So just give me a second. And today I really want to focus on everybody's wins for the week. So I have two people scheduled to come on. But I just wanted to tell you, hi, Kelly. Hi, Darci, two of my guests today. Kelly, I will bring you on in a second. Let me just do my own sharing because my VA is not on today. So I'm going to share this broadcast on my business page first so that people can watch from there. And then I'm going to share it on in my private group called Actionable Entrepreneurs. So today I want it to be all about wins for the week. What did you do that was great this week? I just have one more share to do. If you give me a second, guys. Let's see. I want to go into my group, Actionable Entrepreneurs, which grew by like 75 people this week. So I think I also put a link in the description to joining there. So if you're not in my private group, get on over there. If you are an entrepreneur trying to take action every day to grow your business to the next level, that's where you want to be. It was great this week because somebody posted, I need a virtual assistant, and boom, like out of the woodwork, all the virtual assistants that were in my group came out. But I have exciting news. Thanks, Darci. Yeah, the group is growing fast. I actually brought on another VA. If you've been seeing his name is Cody. And he has a team that he works with, and they are just blowing me up on LinkedIn and in my group and on Facebook, and doing such a fantastic job in addition to the other VAs I have in place doing everything else. So as I grow, I have to hire more people, and that's the things that you guys should be doing as well. So let's see, wins for the week. Oh, for those of you who don't know, I'm president of the Interior Design Society, IDS, virtual chapter, and today our website went up, and I forgot to post that in the IDS chapter Facebook group, but it's idsvirtual.org. It still has some work for us to do, but I'm so excited about that. So that was a big undertaking, and that's done, and now we just have the ongoing work along with my board. Hi, PJ. Hi, Christina. Yes, you do need one of those VAs, Darci. And what else is going on? Oh, Wednesday I'm doing a webinar with my DOMA for interior designers specifically to talk about, ways you can go out and find your ideal client, which is what I work with my one-on-one clients. So that'll be information packed. If you guys aren't in that yet and you are an interior designer, you're going to want to take a look for that post. And if anyone's interested here, I'll post it after. And what else? Oh, my most exciting thing. So I am full up on one-on-one clients, and now I've started a group. It's a rolling group, which means you can come in and you can go out as long as there's space, and it's called the Sales and Leadership Academy for Interior Designers. So I'm really excited about that. If you are still struggling with growing your interior design business to the next level, you're going to want to get into that group. It's going to be small group training, so it's going to be something that can be very personal to all of you, and it meets twice a month, the second and fourth Monday, Eastern Time, 10 o'clock. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to me. We still have openings there. So let me go and bring on Kelly first, and Darci, I'll bring you on next. Darci, it's not showing that you're in from your phone, but maybe you'll be going out and coming back in. Let me see. Okay, so Kelly, I'm going to try to bring you on. Let's hope your phone is horizontal. And there goes my dog. Hold on. done this before, I believe, so we're going to cross our fingers and toes and see if it works. So we want to talk about wins this week, what we did that worked, our exciting moments, our happy clients, things like that. It says it's adding her. And for those who watch me this hour, just so you know, I will be on John Tedesco's happy hour in the next hour also. So I'm not going to drink too much because otherwise by 6:30 I will be zonked. So I will just sip my wine here and there. It says it's adding Kelly. Let's see if she messaged me at all. Kelly, if you're, let's try adding her again. Let's see, approve. It says, can't bring Kelly on camera. There's already a guest on the broadcast. Kelly, it's trying to bring you in already. Nope, that didn't work. Let me try one more time. It says there was no answer. Darci, you're my backup. So I don't know if you're watching from your phone, but it's not giving me the little phone message. Oh, I think we're here. Hey!
Hey!
How are you?
Good. Just a heads up, my dog, the UPS guy, basically drove up right as you were live. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be very interesting.
It's all right. I've had broadcasts where my dog barks, but how big is your dog? My dog's little with a loud bark.
Well, I have two. One likes to spend the day outside, and then the other one likes to spend the day with me. This one's like a child border collie mix, so he's not a small dog.
Uh-oh, it's going to be big roughs. So yeah. Tell everybody your name and who you are because they've never met you on my weekend wine down before. And are you drinking wine?
I am. It's only 3:30 in the afternoon here, but I figured it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Maybe in the middle of Canada.
It's almost 5 o'clock here. It's 4:37. So cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Here's to all my Irish family.
So Kelly, tell everybody where you're located and then what you do.
Sure. I am located in Belton, Texas. It's about an hour north of Austin. I am doing a few different things. Primarily right now I'm doing rendering services for interior designers and architects. I graduated from Savannah College of Art and Design with a master's in architecture. And because I went to an art and design school, it was very strong in both the technical and the art base. I've also worked for several architecture firms, so I have a very strong background in architecture. But right now, I've had the opportunity to be able to work for some pretty awesome designers, whether it's actually working and helping them with the design or just doing renderings.
I have to tell you, I see that Darci needs to contact you. I've seen renderings, right? So I'm not a full designer. I was an art consultant and now I'm a business coach, but I've worked with the designers for a long time. I have never seen renderings that are as good as yours. And I'm not just saying that. I feel like it's almost like a picture of the room. You actually can, not that you want to, but you actually can make custom furniture in there also, right?
For the most part, it's not easy by any means. Where I got started was I was finding that as I was getting hired at different architecture firms, specifically one in Saratoga, I more or less became the art department. And I really learned that throughout that experience that was really my strong suit. I think I'm pretty good at design, but because my background before school was art, I really understand color and composition and placement and how all of that relates to the space.
That last rendering that you did that you showed me, I was blown away. So guys, do me a favor. If you are know interior designers or they're on your list, please share this broadcast. Let's give Kelly more exposure for her rendering services, but as well as her design services as well, because you love doing that as well.
I do. Yeah. I mean, that's what I went to school for. But I just like making places look pretty. So whether it's my spaces or someone else's, and working with interior designers especially is really fun because I'm really learning a lot more about the industry and I'm getting a lot of exposure to a lot of different furniture sources and fabrics and learning what's on trend. And that's kind of the cool part about what I'm doing is I'm seeing what a lot of designers are coming up with and what's looks like it's starting to trend. So.
Right, right. Oh, I never even thought of that. That's a great side benefit for you as you start to grow your interior design business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tell us about some of your wins this week.
Well, Nancy has been amazing with helping me kind of put my feet on the ground and be able to feel very confident when I'm asking for things. And see my wins.
And you did that this week, which you needed to do, right? I mean, it's your level of renderings are so detailed and help an interior designer actually help their client envision what the final product is going to look like, which is helping them get the job, which is such a great benefit to them and to the homeowner, right? But do you also do commercial?
I do. I'm working as a designer for a local restaurant, so that's been awesome. The client's really, really fun, so makes sense.
That's incredible. Now, where do you get most of your clients from right now?
Most of my clients are either referral based or primarily IV when it comes to renderings. So
right. So for those of you who don't, IV Mark is an interior designer management software, and they have a private group, right?
Yep, I'm on the Discover page on there, so I'm listed as a vendor.
As a resource and a vendor. Okay. So yeah, so you go in there, and when you see an interior designer maybe struggling or looking for a renderer or a drafter, you can step up and do that.
Right. Ivy comes with this awesome Facebook page that designers regularly will post stuff and ask questions about. And I'm very strong in the software chief architect. So that's where I've done most of my renderings. More recently in school, it was Revit. So
what's the name of it?
Chief architect.
Okay. I would not do well in something like that. That's definitely not my forte. The fact that I was an art consultant in the past, people go, "Oh, you're an artist?" I'm like, no. My mother's an artist. I have a sister who's a writer, and actually my other sister does beautiful artwork, but I can't draw a stick figure or put colors.
But you have an eye for being able to figure out what good art is, which for somebody who's a huge Antiques Roadshow fan, I wish I had that.
That's true. But that was even something I learned over the years. When I first started doing art consulting, I really didn't know art, didn't even particularly think I liked art. And then over the years, when I'm looking at what works and what is attractive to me, then I really did end up very opinionated. I'm like, ew, that's horrible, but not that I would say that. But so you can actually put art on the walls, you can put wallpaper, special flooring, and that's amazing to me. And is it 3-dimensional? Is it 3D rendering?
It is 3D, and some of my clients actually ask specifically to have access to the model. So if they have chief architect, I will personally send them the model. In my mindset, they paid for that. And they can either do a walkthrough with it, kind of like HGTV.
Really?
Yeah, and if they don't have chief architect, I can actually upload it, and people can have their clients walk through it. And I can render full 360-degree views as well. It's awesome. The more detail people give me up front, the better. And wallpaper sometimes, or fabrics, you'll have a certain repeat, and as long as I have the details for it, I can make it so that those repeats are very, very close.
Really? Even in a couch and window treatments and wallpaper?
Yeah, sometimes there's definitely some furniture, the one that I just posted, that had very custom pieces. So in that case, sometimes it's a little harder to make that work, but we did.
You did. And Emily just asked a question, so let me just go back. Can you import AutoCAD for renderings?
Emily, I haven't actually tried that. I would think that AutoCAD would import kind of like an STL file, so it would import as more or less a very limited model. So I'm not sure whether I could actually assign materials to it.
So whether they have the program or not, if you're 3D rendering for an interior designer before their presentation to their client, you can give them the tools that they can actually do the tour.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, and then I have a few clients that I work with that literally hire me as a design assistant. So they'll send me existing dimensions and pictures of the space before they've done any work, and they'll send me just sketches. And I'll put the sketches together, send them the existing conditions. They'll double check all of the dimensions. And then sometimes it's literally, they just send me a bunch of precedence photos and say, can you make this, figure out how to make this work? I send it back.
Wow. Oh my God. I can't even imagine. And how many changes probably come into play because the client changes their mind or they find something else that they want to put into play once they see what you've done.
A lot of it depends on the client and the designer's client. Because I've worked for architects, and the primary principal architect who trained me did an awesome job. And I got to the point where I got pretty intuitive with his ideas, and I've been able to read people. And usually before I really start running on something, I'll ask them, hey, this is what I'm really thinking for this space. What do you think about it? And there have been a few designers that have said, holy cow, I didn't even think about that. Go with it. It'll be awesome.
Nice. And you know what I love about this business model is that you can do it from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Your interior design services are, limited to local, or if you're willing to travel to somebody, which I know you do. But this service for other interior designers, or even, can you do it directly for homeowners? I don't think you have yet, but
I haven't done it directly for homeowners, but I have traveled, and I can do more than just the chief architect work too. I'm capable of doing pen and ink and those sorts of things as well.
Oh my God, you're so talented. I could never do any of that. And what's your favorite part?
My favorite part is seeing the reaction afterwards.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, you must get some, oh my God, emails. This is unbelievable.
It's pretty exciting.
That's got to be exciting. Yeah, you've got to get into more Facebook groups with interior designers so they know about your rendering services, because I'm telling you, I have never seen the renderings the way you do them. It's so incredibly detailed. And I'm sure there's other people out there who do this, but I have never been exposed to it. So when I looked at it, I was like, holy cow. Like, I can't even imagine the talent it takes to do what you do. And I know at least that the designers that you do this for they're going to have such a much more successful consultation with their client.
Well, and the other thing, there's a lot of renderers out there, but they don't necessarily have the formal training. And when I was in New York, a lot of what I did was construction drawings and millwork drawings. And so I really understand how a lot of these spaces work together. My understanding of proportions and sizing really works. So one of the renderings that I've done, the designer literally sent me a rectangle with two dimensions on it and a bunch of photos. And I ended up rendering all of the millwork, the doors, the fireplace. Anyone who refers to my website, it's a rendering with a fireplace with a bunch of really pretty blue grass cloth wallpaper.
I was most shocked in one of the renderings you showed me was a lacquer finish. Like, you got a lacquer finish on the walls, I think it was even, right?
Yes, there was lacquer finish on the walls, and there was two different color schemes. So it took a little bit of tweaking because it really kind of depends on how the computer reads it. So the first couple of rounds, it was coming across as a mirror.
Oh.
Oh, this doesn't quite look right. So, but in the end, it turned out perfect. So
That's incredible. Well, tell everyone where your website. We get Darci read my mind, and Emily said, "I wish my clients would pay for pen and ink." Yeah, let's just talk about that component for a second. So, do interior designers put the rendering and in the price of their initial consultation to cover your cost usually, or how do you find, or do you even know? Because I know what you do it yourself, so.
Right. I'm not completely sure about how my new clients work it. I have had it where my consistent clients, they've contacted me when they're putting a proposal together and ask me from the start, how many hours do you think this will be? Just something rough, and we'll both kind of agree, okay, well, this will really work this way. So at least they can budget for it.
Okay, good, good. Okay, so now tell everyone, Emily says she does, and Darci said she started including it. Yeah, I think that's a smart idea to include it in the design fee as opposed to, here's my design fee, and if you want to do renderings, it's this much extra, because it's just going to make for a much more successful presentation when the designer sits in front of the client the next time with all their ideas. And if I could see what it's going to look like in advance, I'd be like, yeah, let's do that.
Well, and the nice thing too is what I provide, I put it on the Ivy service, is once I have it all modeled in there, it's all to scale. So it's all based off your dimensions. So this Chief Architect software actually allows me to do formal construction drawings. And these are, because I've been trained in it, are to full scale AIA standards. So you're going to have the appropriate line weights, you're going to have the appropriate fonts, call outs, all of those sorts of things. So if you really want to step up your game, I can help you with that as well.
Love it. Tell everyone your website.
It is kellyfridlinedesign.com. So, and I thought that when I married in and got the name Fridline, I thought it was going to be easier than Snell, but it isn't. So it is.
Spell it for everyone.
It is F as in Frank, R-I, D as in dog, L-I-N-E.
Okay. Okay. And when we're done, when you go back to your computer, make sure you put the link in the comments.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if our comments are behind because Darci just said spelling. You just gave it. So Kelly will put her, sometimes if Caden's watching, he'll jump in, but I don't know if he's, so you're telling me you want to do my CDs? Little hesitation there. Let's see if I just want to go back. I have CA software, but don't know how to use all the functions. That's what Elizabeth is saying.
I had an architect actually reach out to me, and she was testing Chief Architect. She ended up deciding to keep CAD because she just didn't have the time to switch over. But just in like a 10-minute phone call with me, I was able to help her play with stuff a little bit. So, and that's the idea as well, is that I can put layout templates and stuff together so that even if you want to do that on your own, you'll have a template plan and a template layout that has everything ready for you.
There you go, Elizabeth. You got to get on the phone with Kelly for an hour and she can walk you through some of the stuff. Yeah, because I would think Elizabeth does interior design and construction, contractor. So I would think that would be incredibly helpful to her. Let me just see. Someone wrote, Kelly, I love you. People, she is amazing and you're lucky to have her. Blessed, even so talented. And then for some reason the phone, not so talented and so kind, because now I have to switch to look at my computer.
That's Lexi. I've known her for like 13 years now. So yeah, she's awesome. She's a really good photographer. So if anyone's in Florida and looking for a photographer, she's awesome.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, because I'm actually going on John Tedesco's happy hour after this, right? 2 hours in a row of Facebook Lives. And we're going to be talking about the things that all interior designers need in their arsenal, so to speak, to help them go up to the next level. And a photographer was one of the ones on my list that I'll be talking about in the next hour.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So if you want to keep watching, because you're doing nothing else on a Friday night.
Well, I'm drinking wine.
That's right. Me too. Let's take a sip. Hold on.
Oh.
And again, I'm drinking, it's called Rhyme and Meter Chardonnay by Roanoke Vineyard, where my boyfriend is a member of Roanoke Vineyard. They actually don't take people from the outside anymore. They only take members only to come in and do like wine tastings. And I think we get a couple of bottles a quarter or every other month. So I tagged them in here too, because I told them about my weekend wine down when we picked up our wine last weekend. I'm like, I'm going to tag you on my next weekend wine down. Maybe they'll sponsor me. I don't know.
I'm sure it's better than mine. Mine's like 2 weeks old from the local Quickie Mart. So.
Oh no! Oh yeah, they sell wine in the supermarkets there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't do that here. That's why I'm looking forward to going to Alpharetta, Georgia. I think they sell wine in the food stores there as well, where here I have to go to a liquor store.
They definitely don't do that in Savannah, so it might depend on the county.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Tell everyone one more time your website.
Sure, it is kellyfridlinedesign.com. And thank you so much, Nancy.
Oh, you're welcome. You're a doll. I am so happy for you. And you just do such great work. So I hope some people who are watching reach out to you because you deserve it. Your work is incredible.
Thank you.
Okay. I will talk to you soon. And now I'm going to bring on, I think I'm bringing on Darci next, but I will talk to you soon, Kelly. I'll bring you out. Bye. Oh my God, isn't that amazing? You really do have to go look at her work. It's incredible. So let's see if Darci is ready to come on and talk about what she did all week. And if anyone else is interested in coming on, oh, I think I touched the wrong person here. Here we go. Hold on. If you're watching from your phone, you can come in during these call-in shows. I did have a guest lined up, and if he's watching, he'll be mad at me. Hi! I had my boyfriend lined up for today because he was supposed to go over the things you can do to keep your computer running smoothly and clean on a monthly basis. And
oh, I thought he was just going to say to just go ahead and throw it out the window.
well, yours you might have to do because yours is old.
We've had some computer issues on my end, haven't we?
You have had some computer issues. Yeah, I don't know. That's one of the questions I want to ask him. Like, how often should you replace your computer to really? I mean, I remember hearing 2 years, but I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm terrible. I haven't backed mine up in so long. It's terrible.
Oh,
but
no.
I know. Don't even get me started.
Oh no, that gives.
I need to find, and I don't mean this mean. I need to find a geek. I don't know, like, you know, it's like the stuff that I don't know how to do, and I know for somebody else it'd be so easy to do.
Okay, so that's why I wanted to have my boyfriend on, because he has a side business. He's a geek on call, and he works for Microsoft, and he does, when my parents, who are 80 and 82 years old, they're like, is Richard there? You know, there's something going wrong with our computer. And his clients come from all over. He just gives you the software to tap into your computer after you give him permission, and he cleans it up and he fixes it, and this is what he does. So I'm like, you have to come on.
He needs to come on.
He needs to come on. Let's all pressure him.
I just looked up. You couldn't give me Kelly's name fast enough. I'm sitting here on the computer trying to find it, and I can't find it. So I really hope, Kelly, if you're still listening, put your info in Nancy's thing, because I can't, unless I'm spelling something wrong, which is entirely possible.
Let me see.
The only thing
kellyfridlinedesign.com. Let me see if I'm going to put it right now, so don't mind my turned head.
It's Kelly with a Y, right?
Yes. I'm going to put it in the chat. There's Elizabeth. Thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, no, okay, she's really remarkable.
You know what? I was missing the S. That's why.
Oh, okay. I know these.
Designs with an S. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, no, she's so good that I really do believe, and I don't promote anyone who I don't think is good.
S? Wait a minute. There's no S at the end. Okay, I have got Kelly. I'm going to have to look because I tried to find it and it didn't.
I'm going to put it right now. I just copied and pasted it.
Okay.
There's no, Kelly's right. There's no S. It is her website. There it is. I got the.
Maybe I typed in something wrong at the beginning because I was getting like a floral designer. I was like, that's not what we're talking about.
No, that's
But
not.
Kelly, just watch out because your inbox is going to get full pretty quickly because I've got a couple people that have been asking me for a renderer, like who I've used. So.
Yeah. It's really, really good work. I don't even know. I have to look to see if the website even shows as good pictures as she has. Well, yeah, Kelly, we might have to update your website with a couple more pictures, but I've seen it myself. And yes, they aren't always your designs. We understand that. So I wonder if there's a way for you to give the designer credit on your website so that you can say you were the renderer and they were the designer.
Yeah, I think as long as there's representation of what you're capable of doing, then that's the biggest selling point.
Right, right. Like if you used her, you would let her post as long as she gave you a link to your website as the designer. Yeah, that's the way to do it, and that's the way.
And as Joseph says, sharing is caring.
That's right. Everybody share my broadcast if you're watching, or if you watch in the future, because we've got a lot of good stuff on my show. And let's all put a little pressure on Richie. Like, yes, Richie, we want you to come on and tell us what we need to do, right? To keep our computers running smoothly on a monthly basis. And if we can't do it ourselves, that you're available.
So wait, if I gave him access to my computer and I told him what I didn't like, he could literally go on and see all the garbage that's in there and like sort it out and clean it out?
Yeah, like while you're there, you know, or have Sarah sitting there. Like he'll ask permission to, Team Viewer is what we use for my parents. I have it, my sisters have it for my parents. So if Richie's not around and it's something really simple, we're like, okay, give us access. We're going to go in through Team Viewer. They have to give us permission. And then basically it takes over the mouse. And he fixes things. He cleans out computers. I mean, if it's something he can't do, he's going to tell you, you need a new computer.
Well, that's kind of obvious.
For yours, yes. But not all your computers.
But that I need to I have to like clean it out and then be able to transfer it all to my new computer.
And he does all of that too.
Yeah.
He does all of that too. And actually he's able to sometimes pass a little bit of a discount on to you, depending on which computer you're buying. He may be able to get you a little bit of a discount, transfer all your files, and then ship you your new computer all loaded up and ready. Or you're in New York, so we could probably get it to you another way. But yeah.
You could drive it in. We could go have cocktails.
That's right. It's always got to include cocktails.
I will figure out a way to make cocktails a part of it.
Listen, you're talking to the right girl. It's not going to be a problem for me. That's
some way, somehow, we will somehow rope it all in there.
And then I'll complicate everything. So I went not 100% vegan, but I'm going to say 95% vegan. Have you ever watched the movie What the Health?
No.
On Netflix. If you love meat, you may not want to watch it because and I do like meat. I never loved it, so it was easy for me. But Richie's a real meat lover. And one day I'm like, I'd love you to watch What the Health because his diet is atrocious. And I'm sorry if he's watching, but it's atrocious. So he didn't watch it that night, of course, had an excuse not to watch it. But 2 weeks later, out of the blue, he said, I'm going to watch What the Health. And I was going to bed because I was tired.
Wow.
Next morning, I woke up. I'm like, so what'd you think of What the Health? He goes, we're vegan. And you're talking about a die-hard meat fan. Like meat and potatoes is his primary diet. Wings, meatballs, I mean, everything meat. And now he's doing even better than I am. It disgusted him. And he's like, I'm done. And he even went to a vegan restaurant last night in Manhattan.
Oh, which one? Josie?
I don't remember the name. And I can't look on my phone. He texted to me. But anyway, it's creative eating. And it's amazing how much we're actually finding to eat anyway. So, so anyway, tell everyone about your wins for the week. What did you do this week? You have exciting travel.
Well, my big win was that I got on a plane that actually landed in New York during the snowstorm.
It's a big win. Oh my God.
And I had In-N-Out Burger. That was a huge win. No.
What'd you have?
Speaking of vegan, right? No, I was in LA for the Design Bloggers Conference, and I'm getting lots of love for, I think it was In-N-Out Burger. Someone's giving me a lot of love for that. No, I was in LA for the Design Bloggers Conference, and wins, I mean, it's always, I was on my show earlier today, and I just said, the biggest win, I think, for me is just taking time for myself, getting out of, it's not a work rut, but it's just like in the day-to-day business of things, and just exposing myself to like-minded business women and men, there was a couple guys there, making new connections, leaving the conference to go be inspired outside the doors of the conference. Just, having not alone. I mean, I was alone, meaning I didn't have my family with me, but I was alone with all these other wonderful, like-minded people that were had a lot to give and a lot to share, and we had a lot of fun, and it was just nice to, it's always nice to step outside of, you know, for a little bit. And I'm pretty proud of myself that I do it at least once a year, if not twice, where I literally leave my family behind for 2 to 3 to 5 days. And, you know, it just comes back so much relaxed and, you know, inspired, and also ready to go back to work. Like, I'm super excited to get back into the office and just, you know, work, create, do whatever.
Yes. And I used to be more, I used to need that more when I had the kids at home, you know, because, and I think you need that when you have young kids and a lot of responsibility at home, to step out of the ruckus of the daily treadmill, I used to call it. It's just like a daily treadmill, you know, who you picking up, who you dropping off, who needs you, homework, clothes, laundry, dishes, food. Like, really, you need to eat? And it was like, okay, I need to disappear, you know, for a couple of days to a week, and then come back just so much more relaxed. Although Emily's saying, wait,
yes, Emily, you can leave everybody behind. The world will not go to an end. Trust me.
Except I used to say, even when I was gone, at times I pick up my phone, which I can't pick up because it's what I'm looking at, but it's like, it's like an IV right to my veins. Like, so even when I was away, as my kids got older, it was a constant, Mom, where's this? Mom, can you do that? Mom, can you talk? And I used to think, okay, I'm away and I still have that direct line. But for someone like me, I don't think I would have been happy without that anyway. I do like that connection.
Well, and I mean, I got to FaceTime. I FaceTimed with my daughter every morning and every afternoon, whatever. And that was really, really sweet. And, you know, there was one day, I think by the third day I was gone, she was really, really sad and needing some extra love and hugs. And luckily a wonderful babysitter was here, and she gave her all of that, and it was good to see her. And, you know, it was hard, but it's like, but it's all, everybody needs it.
Yeah. So. Mommies need that too. A little time for themselves. Right. Mommies need that too. Cheers. I remember when we were going through a really tough time.
Mommy juice.
Yeah. Right here, mommy juice. Oh, I don't even want to tell you. Oh, it's so funny. So my kids had bought me one of those giant wine glasses, right? And it's, what is
that feels like an entire bottle.
It does. It must. I don't know. I never tried it, but it was like,
you're like, I only have one glass.
So now I'm at my house is for sale, and it's this giant wine glass, and it says like Mommy's something. I can't even remember right now. And my son came home from college, and there was an open house happening that day, and he's like, Mom, you may want to put that away. I'm like, oh, good point. Yeah, maybe I'll hide that. So now it's like sideways, shoved in a shelf somewhere.
Yeah.
But people used to say, how do you deal with so much stress? Because we had, you know, very stressful times during certain years of raising my kids, and they were sick or whatever. And I used to say, I exercise every morning and I have a glass of wine every night. And that balance kept me sane. And I worked and, you know, got away. So tell everyone about your business a little bit.
I am an interior designer in New York City and beyond. We've done projects. Actually, I keep forgetting to mention this, but I don't know if I told you, Nancy, but we're doing a project in Israel. It's my second project in Israel. Have I not told you?
You did not tell me that. I'm going to shake your hand. Really? That's so exciting. Is it a past client?
It is. This is our third project with her. So we did her New York City apartment. We did her, they have a place up in Westchester, like their weekend getaway, and now she's buying, it's a brand new build in Israel, right in Tel Aviv, just a couple blocks from the beach. Haven't yet been there, but we've been working, I'm doing all the design. There's a architect on site, so we're going back and forth. But it's been a good project, and then we're doing another project in the Hamptons again this summer. I think the ground is supposed to be breaking this month. We're in March, right? Yeah. So this month ground is going to get broken, and it's going to be a good 13, 14 month long project. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. Was going to be a gorgeous one. We've seen some of the exterior renderings from the architect, and it's looking really, really pretty. So, yeah, I'm excited, and we have stuff in the city, and most of our clients, we deal mostly with empty nesters and bachelors because they are busy with their own lives and busy with their own businesses. And so we literally take everything off the plate for them and manage everything from soup to nuts. So they can literally show up with a suitcase and a toothbrush.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, there's another one of my clients who does that. It's kind of turnkey service. Just before you move in, we'll do everything that needs to be done. So how do you find working virtually with like the project in Israel? How do you like that?
It has its challenges because I'm such a control freak and I like to run my projects in such a certain way. Who would have guessed?
Shocking.
Like, no,
no, never.
Never.
Me neither.
So it's hard because, you know, I'm relying on other people's eyes. I'm relying on other people's measurements. So that's been a little tricky. We were working on something with the kitchen, just the kitchen layout, and there's a sliding glass door that goes out onto a balcony. And we've had the plans forever, and it looked like it was a 3-paneled sliding door. This is what the plans have been looking like. We were trying to figure out which way does it slide? Does it go left to right or right to left? Do the two move? Is it only, you know, all this stuff, because it was really affecting our kitchen design. And it was like pulling teeth to get this information. So I don't know if part of it was just a little bit of a language barrier, or, you know, and they had been on site, and I was like, just stand in a corner and take a picture. Boom, 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 like this. Like, just take 50,000 pictures.
And then slide the door and tell me which way your arm is going.
Right. And I'm sure I'll figure it out, but just send me, you know, and instead I would get like one picture and it'd be half the window and the sun was coming in. So half of it's like almost blacked out. You couldn't see it. So that part's a little frustrating, but I did it before. I had another job in Netanya, Israel. That was about 7 years ago. And for the most part, it was virtual. I did have 2 different flights over there to secure the furnishings and to walk the space and take all the measurements. And it was an amazing trip, amazing experience. So when I get the chance, I like to be on site. Now, my Hamptons job, this particular job, this is our 4th time working with the same contractor.
Amazing.
He and I have a total shorthand. There's certain things we don't even have to discuss because we've worked it all out before. We both are very much on the same page. I might get a text message with like a picture on it, and he doesn't even have to say anything, and I'll either write back, yep, or nope. I mean, so it's pretty amazing when you have that shorthand with somebody, and it's just, you know, it's going to be done. He's a perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist. So the importance
of working with someone over and over again. And how did that relationship happen? Was it anything special, or did it happen naturally, or did you hone it a little bit?
The contractor in Hamptons, you know, it was the client actually came with the contractor. He had found the contractor through a friend of his, I think it was, or business acquaintance. And, you know, so at first it's like, well, who is this guy? What's going on? And really within the first meeting, I was like, oh, well, he really picked up on some things that I really appreciated. There were certain, I can't recall what they were, but I just recall that he had an attention to detail in the way that he was talking. I knew that he had the attention to detail. And then when we started working together, I was making trips out there. Again, not as often as I would in the city. In the city, we do weekly site visits. Out there, it was about once a month. It was also a bigger project, so that was a little bit better timing, if you will.
Yeah.
So we would get out there, and there was, I think on that project, the first project, there was 3 bathrooms and a kitchen. I mean, the whole house was being renovated, but in terms of like, it was 3.5 baths and a kitchen. And very quickly, you know, he got like the tile layout, where things needed to end, how we were going to finish the tile in the kitchen. So there was like this really quick shorthand. This is how we're going to do it. I would say, well, I really, really want this to happen. And he would say, okay, well, there's an issue here, and we work it out together. And it was cake. From then on out, it was, you know, we just had something to, you know, reference. And now, because this is like I said, our 4th time working together, I could say, well, remember how we did that? Oh, yeah. And it's beautiful. Yeah.
Would you bring him on? Would you bring him on jobs now that come to you first, or has it always been through this?
1,000%.
See, that's how it happens, right? Don't
1,000%.
always discount the tradespeople that your client brings in.
No, correct.
You know,
and I mean, I've said before, I will work with somebody else, but you know, it's when I'm building these relationships, especially when they're really, really good. If a client comes to me and says, I would like to have, you know, I wanted to do a renovation project, I say, well, I really only prefer to work with this person. And I'll let them know, you know, they're not the cheapest, but they're not the most expensive, but they're worth it.
right.
And I have this similar thing here in the city. I have another contractor who he and I have a really awesome shorthand together. And my projects are seamless. And again, another guy whose attention to detail is just, oh my gosh, we were doing this project down in Tribeca, and there was a little detail in the master bath where he did a schluter. It's a way to finish off the edge of this tile. And he did a little reveal next to the schluter. And I walked in there, and Sarah was with me, and I turned around and she goes, are you going to cry? And I was like, my eyes were watering. I said, this detail is so beautiful. Like, cause it could have been, it's so easy for a contractor to have just like slapped something up and walked away from it and said, you know, the tile's done.
Right.
But he put in the thought and the detail with this schluter edge and then a reveal, or like a reveal. And then I was like, oh my God, that's beautiful. I mean, and the client was standing there too, and he goes, did he do a good job? I'm like, he did a great job.
Oh my God. You're reminding me of these stories, because when I was president of the IDS Long Island chapter, during our meetings, we would bring in industry partners of all kinds, you know, carpet people, fabric people, all the big companies would come in. And I was an industry partner. I sold artwork, right? So I would sort of introduce, run my meeting and go in the back, and sometimes I didn't pay so much attention because I'm not a designer, and they're going over it. And the designers were like, oh my God, let me touch, let me feel, pass it around. And they were riveted. So you guys are really such a unique selection of people who just love touching, feeling, seeing, and the attention to detail that you guys bring to the table is something beyond the way my brain could ever work.
Yeah.
And you actually get emotional about it.
I do get emotional.
and most designers do. It's an amazing thing to watch. And I used to watch and go, wow, this shows that I am not an artiste at all. I am a business coach. I'm all business and sales. I don't feel the emotion behind finishes and fabrics and color. I did start to feel that way about artwork. Like I'd see a piece of artwork and I'd be like, oh my God, but it's not natural. It wasn't natural for me. It's something that I really had to learn.
But Nancy, I would assume that if you had a really pretty piece of artwork and then the framing was crap, you just destroyed a beautiful piece of artwork.
Oh, you have no idea how hard it is to go out to dinner with me. If I walk into a restaurant that the artwork is like, it affects me, and I'm like, I can't eat here. Like I can't eat here. It's disgusting. And they're too small. They're hung too high. They're dark. They're heavy. It's not doing anything for the space. Can we go somewhere else? Sorry, it's really bad. But I mean, so okay, maybe I'm a little bit like that.
So we each have our things. But yes, I agree. There's certain things that you know, and like I said, I mean that's my big thing. I know most designers are about the details, but you know, I think there's details on top of details too. There can be the details on top of details that I think are so important. So.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to shut my door because my dog is finding something to bark at. If somebody wanted to find an interior designer who's struggling to find a contractor that they just really can rely on and really trust, do you have any suggestions for them?
If a designer is, or if a client is?
If a designer is.
Well, I mean, that's why I think these groups are so amazing, because, I mean, you know me, I was not on Facebook as of 4 months ago.
Oh my God. I know.
But if there's any way that you can connect with other people in your industry, especially in your, wherever it is that you live or you're doing business, Elizabeth says, ask your architect. That's another big one, you know, but sometimes I think as designers, sometimes the jobs come to us and they don't have an architect. So, like we kind of, in my firm, we'll do the drawings. I have an AOR that will sign off on my drawings if architect of record, if we need to sign off on something, but we'll do everything in-house. I'm just not a licensed architect, so I don't have, they need to get filed with the city. But if a designer really, and I've gotten this as, people have asked me before, who would you recommend for? And I certainly can recommend it. I think part of the, so for me, 90% of my jobs are all gut renovations. Mm-hmm. So it's very rarely do we do something that's as small as a minor renovation. So for me, it's a little bit, I don't want to say easier, because my contractor, that's also his sweet spot. He's not the guy that you're going to call up and say, hey, I need my entire place repainted and can you patch up this one wall? That's not his, it's not his business model.
Right.
So it's a little bit harder when a designer has asked me, hey, I've got a small bathroom remodel, who do you recommend? Because a lot of the contractor that I use, they really only do full houses or full apartments. So, but I have gotten that guy before who did he was amazing for smaller jobs. But I mean, I think it's imperative to belong to some sort of group or. Thank
you. That's what I was going to say. That's what I tell my clients. You need to belong to an industry organization, be in an industry organization that, if possible, that's local to your area. And I've heard in the past, but it's really changing now. In the past, when I first joined the Interior Design Society, the IDS, you got a lot of like, well, people won't share their resources. And I've talked about this before. If you don't share your resources are not going to be there for you. Right? Because if I, as an art consultant, if interior designers did not share me as a business coach, right? If designers don't share me, I will eventually not be there for them because I have to make money and do business as well. So sharing resources is so important. But I have heard designers say, but then if I share him or her, then they won't be available for me when I need them. So they're afraid to share.
No, I don't find that to be true. I don't find that. I mean, case in point, the contractor that I'm working with right now, because he and I know we have a good relationship, and we, a lot of times our talk goes off of our own topic, and he'll chit chat, and he tells me about, some of those, and I mean, if he can carry 3 of my design projects and 2, and I know who else he's working with, and they're big projects. I mean, they're even bigger than mine. So I'm not, I'm not worried about it. And he and I mean, again, he can schedule. He knows how to, he's like, hey, I can take on a new project starting April 1st.
Exactly.
He knows how to, he's been doing it long enough, just like us designers. It's like, we've been doing it long enough that we know when we can take on another project. And if they're good, at which he is, and which I am, they'll wait.
Yes.
They would rather wait for something that's really awesome than, pull the trigger on something that's mediocre and then be sad about it.
Right. Absolutely. I'm looking at some of these comments.
Oh, uh-oh.
Wait, let's see. Ask your architect. Elizabeth put in nahb.org. Emily said, do you get left in restaurants by your friends while they shuffle out with their heads down? I think you might have been talking about me, but yeah, they have been like, really? No, usually I'm the one who has to suffer and stay. So Kelly said, she's walked into street signs in New York City looking at the architecture.
Yes.
I could see you doing that, Darci, because you're always like, God, look how beautiful. Tell them about your Friday show. That even if they can't be there live, it's coming together really nicely. Your favorite things. Explain that to them.
So I'm doing, thanks to our friend Nancy G over here, I'm doing Facebook Live every Friday at noon. You know what? I don't ever think I told you why. I mean, you already have the 4 o'clock or 4:30 spot anyways, but in the summer, we go from Memorial Day to Labor Day. We have summer hours on Fridays. So I'm like, I ain't screwing with my long weekend.
You can do another night. People have wine on other nights or cocktails, or you don't even do that. You're just doing favorites.
No, I know, but I'm saying that's why I chose 12 because by 1 o'clock, I'm out of here. See you later. I'll see you Monday.
You got to do lunchtime with Darci.
So doing Friday favorites, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time every Friday. And today it was just me. There was we had something scheduled, and it's still gonna be in a few weeks. It was texting with the woman today. We're gonna be doing a walkthrough, a live. I'll be there in person to do this walkthrough of this really incredible apartment here in the city. And I think I said to you, Nancy, I wanted to go back with Drew, because that unfortunately went really south last week. Drew is an amazing designer here in the city, and he does some crazy brilliant work, and he was going to share this Upper East Side. I think there were 2 apartments that he combined.
Ooh.
And he's shared some of the pictures on Instagram, and his attention to detail is swoon worthy. I love seeing his work.
What's his last name?
McGukin.
Oh yeah, I can spell that.
Gukin, I believe. He's going to kill me if I got it wrong.
Wait, do it again.
McGukin, I hope. Gukin.
Okay, well, you can always put in the comments after if you got it wrong.
Yes. Oh, and I have a question about comments. But anyway, today I did my Friday favorites with me, and I was just talking about some of my favorite things from my time in LA this past week. So some showrooms that I went to, some just inspiring things. My new handbag that I got from Mark and Graham that has my monogram initials on it, which I love.
Nice.
So I'm super excited. And it was funny. It was like I had just busted it out, and I was walking around. 4 people commented on it, like, "Oh my gosh, where'd you get that bag?" So it's like, well.
Oh, that's nice. And I saw somebody, I don't know who it was. I have to think. They posted a picture of having it wasn't you, I don't think, a personal scarf made, and the artist was pouring the ink and the dye right onto the scarf that was hanging, and it was going to be a one of a kind for them. And I thought, how perfect is that for vendors who are artists, pocketbooks and jewelry and scarves, to be at a design bloggers conference?
She had this whole thing set up. It was crazy to watch her, and she had these big, like, tubs, if you will, underneath. So the silks were hanging up, and then she was just kind of pouring these different colors. It was quite beautiful.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Anyways, yeah, so that was going on there. But we, like I said, I mentioned to you early on that we kind of left a few times to go be inspired elsewhere.
All right. It happens.
What's that?
I said, all right, it happens. Sometimes you got to get out. The conferences are very hard to be sitting or standing one session after another. The networking breaks are always really good in between, which I'm assuming they had there. I haven't been to this conference yet. Hoping I get there next year. My next trip is the IDS National Conference at the end of April, beginning of May, I think. So, but yeah, I would love to go to the Design Bloggers Conference and all the other places everyone is going. I want to go everywhere, but sometimes I do have to sit and work.
Right. So, but I have a question for you. So I mentioned these places today because like I said, I love them. They were amazing. Should I be tagging them after?
100%. Tag them in the, put them in the comments, put their website or their Instagram, or, name them, say what they do, whatever you want. That's what this is for. That's what I love about this. It's like, I want to showcase other businesses. I want to talk about business building. This helps business struggles. That's really what Weekend Wind Down is all about. Process your week, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as I say in my comments. And this week I chose to, let's focus on the good. Not always the ugly. And I like to have the real teaching sessions. As a matter of fact, next week, which I did for my clients only in a private session, so it won't be as detailed, but I have Justin Masonic. He's a managerial accountant. He's actually going to come on my live next week to talk a little bit, not as much detail as he did for my private clients, but how important it is for businesses in general. He does specialize in interior designers and creative entrepreneurs like I do, how important it is to keep your money in order through your business, and how to run an efficient flow of money, and your bank reconciliations, and how to keep your funds separate So what you're holding to pay for things, your payables, and how to put your profits separately, which, you know, we talk about.
Wait, is this a new?
It's the same guy. He's not going to be able to go into
Okay.
as much detail as he went for my clients. But he's going to do a Facebook Live, and we're going to have a little chat about it. So I don't know if I'll have him for a half an hour, and maybe I can twist Richie's on to do a half an hour of how to clean up your computer. So I like to mix it up.
Sarah did say she watched, and she said her eyes were doing this when she left, when talking to.
It's a lot of detail.
But I will watch it, but it probably I won't be able to do it till next week. So
okay, sounds good. All right, so I'm going to pop off because I got to go live on John Tedesco. So
oh, that's right.
I got to go to his next one. That's all right. He's probably doing his intro now. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Nancy Ganzikoff, a business coach to creative entrepreneurs, including interior designers, web designers, all kinds of creative other coaches. I coach a lot of other coaches. And Darci, tell them where to find you.
DarciHether.com.
Very good. Okay. I will talk to you during the week, and I will see you guys next Friday. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share. Bye.
Bye.